Chapter 4. The Young Maiden. Her skin was fair and soft as moonlight upon fresh snow, bearing the natural scent of faint blossoms. Her hair, fine and smooth with natural curls, resembled golden waves of the sea. Her pale blue eyes sparkled like stars, stirring tender affection in all who beheld them. Lips crimson as rose petals enchanted any upon whom her smile fell, leaving them spellbound. From the day of her birth, the ceaseless rains of a full year's gloom finally ceased. The skies cleared, sunlight bathed the land, and all things awoke anew. Hearts lightened by the fair weather, people returned to work, bustling about until the streets thrived once more with vigor. Though born of mortal kin, she seemed not wholly human. She spoke earlier than other children, and by 3 years old, painted forests of surpassing beauty. "The woods are my home," she oft declared, sometimes uttering tongues none comprehended. All whispered that Gnarly was a child of the stars. A maiden apart, her beauty carried an ethereal grace unbound by mortal realms. Tall and lithe as a willow, she loved song and dance, her movements humbling even the finest performers. The prophecy that she would become a queen made her a coveted prize among royal houses. By 7 or 8 summers, envoys from distant realms clamored for betrothal. Yet Prince Perel treasured her as a jewel, loath to send her to far lands. In his mind, if she truly bore Gondor's fortune, she must wed its throne. King Galandor's son, Elendor, of like age, possessed noble bearing from royal blood, a fitting match. Having grown as companions since childhood, their bond ran deep. Observing their harmony, Perel rejoiced, for they moved as twin stars, matched in spirit and form. To Perel's surprise, Gnarly differed from noble maidens, excelling in horsemanship, archery and swordsmanship with agility surpassing many men. Thus he bid her train alongside Hirion and Elendor. As foreseen, her prowess swiftly outshone both lads. With the bow, she struck distant marks true, loosing 3 arrows at once. What took others decades to master, she grasped within months. All marveled, deeming her skill akin to legendary elven archers. They bestowed upon her the name Elven Princess, which she cherished. Years fled. When she was 15 years old, her beauty rivaled the dawn. All perceived Elendor's deepening love. They raced hand in hand through groves, vying to climb trees fastest. One day, Elendor's heart overbrimmed. Catching Gnarly as she leapt from a branch, he clasped her close. The young prince, reckless with passion, sought to kiss her rose-petal lips. Gnarly recoiled, shoving him away. She cried, eyes wide with alarm. Elendor awoke to shame, his face aflame. Gnarly understood not, for she had never considered such feelings beyond friendship. Knowing love only through her parents' bond, she fled in panic to her chamber, barring the door.
"Henceforth, I shall keep my distance,"
she resolved, casting the matter aside. Seizing a volume from Thane's book upon her shelf, she perched on the windowsill to read. This collection sprang from the works of the remarkable Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins, the Red Book of Westmarch. These tomes were Gnarly's treasure. Since childhood, she had begged her mother for bedtime tales, even pestering Hirion to recount stories. Once literate, she devoured each page, enchanted by valiant elves. She stubbornly pursued their ancient tongue, though it had faded from memory. Scattered words and grammar in the book sufficed. Through study, she soon spoke flowing phrases, though few grasped their meaning. At supper, Elendor sat stricken with remorse, fumbling his spoon twice before Gnarly's gaze. His usual grace thus marred, Perel and Fianna took note. Only Hirion wore a knowing smirk, for his servant Ur had witnessed the incident under the tree. Hirion rejoiced, for though Elendor was slender, his comely features and gentle manner pleased all. The three had grown as siblings, and with Elendor Gondor's sole heir and Gnarly prophesied queen, the match seemed fate's design.
Why you smirk, Hirion?
Mother, I deem our shared hope shall soon blossom.
He subtly gestured toward Elendor and Gnarly. Fianna and Peril exchanged smiles.
Elendor, next month is your 18th year's birthday. Time for manhood's rights. And Gnarly, the king hopes to meet you. Join us when next we court.
Wear a veil. Elias is a lecher. He sleep with different women in the night.
Hirion, mind your tongue.
Fianna chided, and Gnarly laughed.
Let him dare. Should he approach?
She slashed the air with her knife.
Gnarly.
Fianna gasped. Sheathing the blade, Gnarly embraced her mother with a curtsy.
Don't worry, Mother. I shall be decorous.
Hirion guffawed, nudging Elendor.
Beware your fierce bride.
Elendor gazed at Gnarly, adoration plain. Gnarly glared at Hirion and fell silent, unaware the threads of her fate were being woven by others' hands. When night deepened and her mother's good-night kiss lingered upon her brow, Gnarly lit her oil lamp as was her wont, losing herself in Mr. Bilbo Baggins's tales until weariness claimed her. Again came the same dream, a vast forest where waterfalls thundered from cliffs, their rapids carving silver ribbons through stone. Following a hidden path, she entered a grove and found an ancient stone bridge. Beyond it loomed a palace gate, half open and veiled by vines, invisible to careless eyes. Yet Gnarly saw it, a flicker of memory stirring. With eager haste, she crossed the bridge and stepped inside. The palace lay beneath the earth, a labyrinth of caverns linked by arches, walls adorned with carvings of elder days. At its heart stood a wooden throne, high and ancient. The air smelled of rain-washed stone, and she danced through the halls, joy unbound.
Who are you?
A voice cold as steel pierced her heart. Her mirth froze to dread. She turned, yet saw no one.
Who dares trespass my realm?
The words boomed with power, shaking the very stones. Gnarly spun, seeking the source, but the voice seemed woven into the walls.
Get out of my kingdom!
Thunderous wrath struck her. An unseen force hurled her backward. The gates slammed shut with a crash that jolted her awake, breath ragged, skin drenched. Wiping sweat with her sleeve, she drank from her bedside cup until calm returned. As sleep beckoned anew, shadows flitted past her window. Peering through curtains, she glimpsed Peril and Hirion cloaked in black, armed and hastening toward the stables. Where go they at this hour? Curiosity banished slumber. Donning dark garb, she seized bow and blade, slipping through her window. The stable lay empty, save for curious steeds. Closing her eyes as Peril had taught her, she sharpened her hearing. Footsteps echoed faintly beneath the earth. Tracing the sound, she found footprints behind hay bales. Searching walls yielded naught, but a loose floorboard creaked underfoot. A stomp triggered hidden mechanisms. The floor slid open, revealing a ladder descending into gloom. Gnarly slipped through without hesitation, sealing the entry behind her. Long had she pondered why her father slept till near noon, and why Hirion now did likewise. Their mother Fianna never chided them, bidding servants keep silence before midday, reserving clamorous tasks for afternoon hours. Yet Gnarly was roused at dawn to study courtly graces and law. She had long suspected some secret work, and now this night's discovery set her heart excited. The tunnel broadened as she pressed on. At first, wine casks and farm tools lined the walls, but these dwindled with each step. After 100 paces of winding descent, voices echoed ahead.
Someone approaches.
Hirian's voice rang clear.
Father, Hirian, so it is you.
Gnarly dashed forward joyously. Perel removed his mask, eyes widening.
Gnarly, go back to your room immediately.
Why do you here?
She asked.
This is not your concern. Go back.
Hirion urged. Gnarly wrinkled her nose.
I go with you.
Perel's brow darkened.
Return now. I'll never mention this to anyone.
Then take me.
She pleaded.
No!
His refusal died as rhythmic knocks echoed through stone. Time pressed. Perel twisted a sconce upon the wall, parting the rock. Hirian strained to open it, revealing Derin, Perel's lieutenant.
My lord, we must depart immediately.
Derin's gaze fell upon Gnarly. Perel relented.
Wear your helmet. Stay with your brother.
Gnarly eagerly complied, swiftly donned a suit of mail, and followed the company through the stone into another passage. They ran 100 paces before clambering out of a hidden crevice. This opening lay in a wooded dell beyond the town, its soft earth masked by thickets of bramble and ivy, invisible to any but the keenest eye. As they emerged, moonlight revealed black-armored warriors holding midnight steeds at the wood's edge. They mounted with haste. Derin urgently reported to Perel.
They gather at the Blue Valley Tavern in Belit. The innkeep Bal leads dark rites. Tonight they'll warp a dozen souls into orc flesh.
Will Montar come?
Our spies say perhaps.
Ride! We halt this vileness ere moonfall.
You are really troublesome. I can only protect you tonight, and can't fight with those monsters.
What monsters?
Monsters that will scare you to death.
My blade fears no shadows.
Forget it. If something happens to you, who will bless Gondor in the future?
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Hirian held his tongue. None had told her of the prophecy, that her reign would rekindle Gondor's glory. The streets lay silent, all troublemakers drawn to the Blue Valley. Perel halted at the wood's edge, leaving 2 sacred tree warriors, Roy and Ryan, to guard the steeds with Hirian and Gnarly. Hirian paced restlessly beneath the gnarled trees, his father's peril and the chance to strike at the dark tree gnawing at his thoughts. Yet guarding his sister's safety bound him like chains of duty.
You don't know what kind of danger our father facing.
Gnarly's heart twisted with regret. Even had Hirian held his tongue, the ill wind moaning through the pines and the wood's Stygian gloom would have whispered of danger. At length Hirian turned to Roy and Ryan.
Aid my father. I shall guard her here.
The warriors exchanged doubtful glances.
I go. Ryan remains.
Roy declared. Ere he finished, Gnarly's star-bright eyes flashed. An arrow already knocked. She loosed it past Roy's helm. A hiss split the air, followed by a guttural howl. Turning, they beheld a monstrous shadow, a wolf-like beast twice the bulk of common wolves, half-man height, jaws bristling with fangs like daggers. Gnarly's shaft pierced its left eye, sundering skull from spine.
What fell creature is this?
Breathed Ryan, though he'd faced orcs in battle.
A warg.
Gnarly answered, calm as moonlit stone.
A warg. Nursery tales.
Not tales. Truth penned by Mr. Baggin's own hand in the Red Book.
If wargs walk again, that means all those ancient evil are coming back.
Hirian said, but the horses screamed. Gnarly spun, felling another shadow with her bow. Then horror These evil spirits from the ancient times appeared again on this land after disappearing for nearly 2,000 years.
Kill them all.
To horse. Flee.